Well, you don't need me to remind you that Formula One is now so beloved in the United States that we race here 3 times a year. But let's give respect to COTA, or the Circuit of the Americas, to give it its full name. This place laid the foundations for this moment and still remains the host of the US Grand Prix. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, where 20 corners and speeds of up to 200 miles per hour await us on this magnificent racetrack. It's 60% full throttle with plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into Turn 1 and the long back straight into Turn 12. What a race we have in store today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Cartwright lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Norris, Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Sainz and Alex Albon, Jackson, Antonelli, Lance Stroll and Ocon, Tsunoda, Behrman, Liam Lawson and Gabriel Bortoleto, Gasly, Hadjar, Doohan and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me, bringing glamour and expertise to our commentary today, Naomi Schiff. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say they've got the better of them more often than not.
Yes, for sure. It is never nice to be on the receiving end of that teammate battle, to be the one not winning. But for the driver who is on the upper hand, it's a real confidence boost because, as you know, the first job in Formula One is to beat your teammate. It is a team sport, but at the end of the day, that's the only driver on the grid that's got equal equipment to you. So it's the best indication of how you're doing. So for them, it's going to be a real confidence boost.
The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today to see how the dry conditions could affect the lifespan of the tyres. We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations. They take the checkered flag then here in Austin in what has been another fabulous Grand Prix.
Wow, that's 3 wins in a row. This clearly solidifies them as a seasoned contender. It's very tough to achieve 3 in a row, so very well done.
Well, Connor Sport are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.